Hey, welcome to the SOSpgh concert series right here from In Stuff Music. And I'm here with Judy and Eric. Eric is camera shy, so he doesn't want to go on the cameras with us. But these guys have a local show. They play local bands every week, right?
Yeah, every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WMCK.FM. We're the Electric Crush. We're a punk and rock and roll show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you used to write reviews and things for what paper was that?
Mostly the Pittsburgh City paper.
Okay.
And also, there used to be a little paper for a little while called Pulp. I used to do stuff for them.
Okay.
I did write for Second Scene when it first came out for Tim. So
yeah. Tim is a sponsor of the show.
I've been writing about bands for like over 25 years.
That's true. Yeah.
Long time.
You did a couple things. You actually did our bio.
That's
for
right. I've written about several of your bands too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What got you into wanting to do? I know you were into music always, so you were writing about bands and things like that. But what made you start doing a radio show?
Well,
got you there?
I always wanted to be on the air. I went to college originally for broadcast news.
Okay.
So I always wanted to be on the air, and I also did some radio at college as well. When there was an opportunity, we had some friends in Youngstown that had shows, and they were like, hey, you should come on our shows a couple years ago. And I was like, wouldn't that be great if we could have a show? But there was never anywhere in Pittsburgh that we could do that. In Youngstown, it's just too far to do every week.
Yeah.
But and then we noticed when on the internet, like almost 5 years ago, my husband Eric noticed that there was a radio station looking for DJs, and I was like, what? I was like, this is what I should have been doing my whole life. So we've been doing it almost 5 years.
It's been that long already?
I know, is that crazy?
Wow, it seems like it's been a couple years, but I didn't know it was 5.
I thought it was like 2 or 3, and Eric's like, no, it's like 5. I was like, wow. So I really, really love it. Not only do I like, obviously having people listen to what I'm saying, but I love the music aspect. I love to meet all the bands. We love to go out to the shows and really meet the bands, not just like have them on the right now COVID, so everything's on the phone. But just being out there and like in the scene and seeing everybody and meeting everybody, and you and I have been friends a long time. Once you know all the musicians, it's kind of like almost like a family, close-knit group.
Yeah, for sure.
So I love all that. I love the relationships. I love all the music. I love it when bands are like, call us up or text us or whatever and are like, hey, I got a new album coming out, and they're excited. And I love all that creativity. Like I love all of it. I love everything about music.
So what do you miss last year?
Oh gosh. I definitely miss bands coming in live to our studio, either playing and or talking and just, interviewing and hanging out.
Yeah.
I try to make my interviews casual and not intimidating for anybody, and I really miss seeing my friends.
Yeah.
I miss seeing live music because it's a great thing to watch it streamed.
Yeah.
But it's a whole different vibe and feeling to be there. You can pay attention better too.
Yeah, for sure. Well, plus you get to hang with all your friends and stuff.
Right. I love the social aspect.
Most people say that's what they miss the most is hanging with friends and the people that they've been, the sound guys or even the people who work in bars and the bartenders and stuff.
Well, you build relationships with all those people. So.
Yeah. So I am going to give you the tough question. Who's your favorite band in town?
Local band?
Yeah.
I love some of the older bands. I love the Cynics. I loved ATS. I loved Torn and Frayed.
Yeah.
I love punk bands too. Like I love the Cheats. I like the Borstal Boys a lot. I love you guys. It's like every year I'm like, oh, I love this band. And then they're like, oh, we broke up, and I'm like, what? Because how everybody here knows everybody, all the musicians. They kind of like morph into this band.
Well, they morph into other bands.
Or they have like 6 bands they're in. Like one of our friends is in 6 or 7 bands. I'm like, what band's playing tonight? But so I love all that. The Cynics, I think the Cynics are kind of like classic Pittsburgh. They've been around for so long. And we saw them 2 summers ago at Get Hip.
Yeah.
They came in, It was like...
It was awesome. I was at that
show.
It was so hot.
It was horrible.
It was unbelievable. I think I lost 15 pounds.
Right.
I gained it all back, but I think I lost 15 pounds.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
But I love Get Hip. I love the fact that, they have their warehouse and they have an area for people to play. I love all that. Even though, it might not necessarily play as the Cynics all the time, they're like really clearly ingrained in the music here. So.
Okay, when you were young, what got you into music? What was the first band that you loved that you were like, wow, I love this music?
I was born in America, but we moved to London, England when I was really small. So when we came back from London, my auntie had sent us 4 Beatles 45s, like a little set. So that's all I knew were the Beatles and Disney long play records. Like that's all I knew.
Well, that's a wonderful band to grow up.
Right.
Yeah.
So I Revolution was like my favorite song when I was 8, and like everybody thought I was crazy.
You play a lot of bands on your show, from local bands on your show.
We do.
So I mean, you do play some national stuff.
We do.
And you do some requests, but you also play some Ohio and the guys you talk with all the time. Anthony Porter.
Oh, from Philly.
From Philly,
Yeah,
okay.
He was in Clashing Plaid.
Clashing Plaid and those
3 Chord
guys.
Money. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Those guys rock.
We
I
love those guys.
So you include
much
them
fun.
in with the local stuff as well.
Yeah.
And I love how you do your shows. Like when you did for this show, you played, it was all a list of bands who played on the recording or
Right,
whatever.
so
you do that a lot. You do like a themed show a lot. I like that.
So that's really Eric, who's like off camera here.
Yes.
He really
Hey, Eric.
That's me.
So he's the playlist master.
He does a very good job at it.
Yeah, he works really hard at it, you know. So he's always thinking.
That's a fun part, though, ain't it?
Yeah. And we get a lot of compliments on our playlists. So.
That's cool.
Or people are like, or they'll be texting me during the show, like, "What is that song?" And I'm like, "This is what it is." But so every day the next day after our show on that Thursday, we always, post the thank you for our listeners. And since we're the Electric Crush, we call them Crushlings.
Yes.
We give them a little name. We'll, say thanks to the band, and then Eric lists all the songs and who played them or whatever.
Yeah.
So people can go out and be like, "Oh, I love this band," or like Gary Martin, who used to live in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He played with Ange and all those
I played
guys.
with them, too.
That's right. You played in Science Fiction. You guys have been in so many bands. I'm like, what band was that? And I love the Science Fiction a lot.
We have this conversation. Obviously, the best Science Fiction Idols was the first album that I was on.
Sure. That lineup was excellent. You guys were tight. And then Gary moved to California, and we ran into him, not last year because nobody could do anything last year, but the year before at Jurgles, we went to see Kix. And he was there, and he's like, "I have a band called The Claws." And I was like, "Well, you should just be on my show." So, And then our friends were like, "This is a great band. I'm buying that CD." So a lot of people will tell us that they listened to our show, and they're like, "We really love this band and this band." And I just went and bought their stuff. I'm like, "That's great."
I always listen to the replays. I never listen on Wednesday night.
Well, you're busy.
I get the replay. I listen to it on Friday mornings.
Yep.
When I'm at work, I put the headsets on
8
and
to
I
10
listen.
a.m. on Friday mornings, and Monday from 3 to 5. If you missed the show, you can listen to it again. Or if you loved it and you want to hear it again, you can listen again.
There's 2 more replays to each show.
Hi, this is Judy Rosenfeld from the Electric Crush, WMCK.FM. Please tune into the SOSpgh concert series at In Stuff Music.